think everyone here has some knowledge of Tell Us Another One, our 3-year creative writing project at Cartwheel Arts. To remind you, we have 9 story groups each month, 8 mini projects each year, although in truth there were 15 last year and 12 this year. We also run digital training, the annual Scribble Festival, which is due to take place tomorrow, and we produce the quarterly Scribble magazine. As you can see, we like to get the most out of our funding, so we've worked really hard to get the right balance between quality engagement, quality publications, quality performances, and the number of activities we run and people we engage. When I first came to Cartwheel, the goalposts had already been set. Big Lottery Fund and Arts Council England had funded us to reach over 2,000 people through the project, with each of the 6 headings that you see here all had several subsections. Some of these were simply milestones which gradually led us to the headline figures over the 3-year period, but many, to my heightening anxiety, were extra goals, to get people up and performing, for example, or to get people, including the staff and trustees, to value and learn about social media. All told, these were a tough set of outcomes, and I was daunted, to say the least. There are times that this juggle has been hard, but we have succeeded beyond our expectations, and I'm glad we pushed to do as much as we did. I'm going to talk you briefly through this journey. Our first outcome was all about getting people to challenge their perceptions of themselves, put pen to paper and write. Some familiar gasps. In our recent Survey Monkey, 78% of you found that creative writing is good for building confidence and stimulating creativity. For those who were able, like Kath, a performance element was added to get them out of their comfort zone and into their learning zone. We expect to have reached over 2,100 unique people through the project. Some have done regular activity with us, some we've worked with only briefly, but all have taken part in creative writing and spoken word activities, seeing their work in print or read live for the first time. They have told us their self-confidence has increased and they have a greater engagement with the life of the community. Here is one story. James also said, "I owe a great deal to the writers group. I suffer from a mental illness, so before I went, I wasn't really doing much. It's got me to events like today and open mic nights." Our second outcome was central to the Big Lottery Reaching Communities Fund ethos, community cohesion. In the Survey Monkey, 67% of you said this was the main focus of your work. Working across 15 hard-to-reach localities, we brought diverse communities together to share and celebrate what they had learnt. Community cohesion is central to what we do. This helped people mix within their own communities and with those around them. Common Words Black Writers Conference has been one of many events that we've taken participants to. Our most ambitious trip was to the Hay Literature Festival. This is a picture of some of the group at Hay last summer. Here, participant Evelyn grasps why we run the project. She went on to say, having something in common helps us to overcome differences in culture and to respect each other. Some of the poetry written by the Pakistani ladies in Scribble is so beautiful, simple and elegant. Scribble magazine has been a fantastic way of sharing stories and experiences from various cultures. Ghazala summed it up nicely at the first Scribble Festival. Yeah. Our third outcome encouraged different age groups to work together. This was a difficult outcome for us to achieve, but with guidance from the Beth Johnson Foundation, we found new ways of working, such as recognising the value in bringing different generations of adults together to share views. Doris's comments here are from the Games Gone By project, which brought together 2 primary schools and adults from their communities. This resulted in a fantastic book edited by John Sadiq. We also brought different generations together at key events like today. Our 4th outcome focused on signposting people to volunteering, training and employment opportunities. Many of our participants come to us for the love of writing, not pressured outcomes, so we've always been careful to gently encourage people to use what they've learnt to stretch themselves further. We have encouraged long-term groups to continue self-sustainably through fundraising and governance training with Rochdale CVS. Everyone has been encouraged to look at opportunities we post on the Tell Us Another One website, and many volunteer for us by helping out at events like today. We do have some wonderful ripple effects too. Tony overcame his dyslexia through the support of projects like Tell Us Another One. He is a great role model for others who face barriers. Despite the financial climate and devastating cuts to public services, we've worked with 93 organisations through Tell Us Another One. When we heard of planned cuts at Bury Libraries, we piloted running story groups there during times the library was closed to the public. We were thrilled to hear that due to the success of this, Bury Libraries are now flexibly accommodating other community groups. In these austere times, we've provided a much-needed lifeline for anxious partners and communities. With a strong chance of securing another 3 years' funding, we hope to remain a constant support. Huge thanks go to my colleague Vic at the back, who has had one of the more challenging roles on the project, encouraging people to become more digital with their writing. Over the course of Tell Us Another One, Cartwheel has changed from a company with no social media profile at all and a focus on producing material for print to a company with well over 1,000 Twitter followers and embedding digital elements in every project we do. For example, the New Ghosts blog shown here was not established as one of our digital projects, but we used a blog to monitor and evaluate and to keep artists, pupils and teachers in touch. The blog had 416 page views. Around 730 people have been published digitally in some form through the project, either by being part of a crowdsourced writing project like Borderlines or in online publications. 610 of those have been actively involved in creating digital content themselves, tweeting, posting on our site, blogs and Facebook, and using the Connector Poetry app. We'll be launching Connector Poetry in July. If you would like to get involved, the app is already available for both iPhone and Android, so download it and have a go. It's like having a creative writing workshop in your pocket. We have trained 75 participants so far in digital skills, ranging from how to upload work to our site to using social media, blogging and online resources for writers. 12 artists have learnt digital skills they didn't have before and learnt to apply those skills in new ways, such as monitoring or evaluating or the creative use of technology. We've been amazed at some of the additional outcomes over the 3 years, such as groups like Shaw and Burnside continuing to work together. Many of our participants have pursued their writing further, getting involved in open mic nights, being published, and winning poetry competitions. There have been huge health benefits too. We had not expected health to be such a major barrier for so many of our participants. It delights me that our groups are the reason people get up in the morning, but this places a degree of responsibility on us. This amusing quote from Norman shows us how enthused our partners get. We are very proud that our participants, writers, artists and partners see the value in what we do. Tony Walsh is not only a fantastic writer, he is brilliant at summing up the impact of the arts. This was his feedback at last year's Scribble Festival in Oldham. He also said, finding ways of engaging hard-to-reach communities is really difficult. The arts are brilliant for it. What we've seen today is really diverse communities, voices that don't get heard, coming together, sharing a love for words and improving their skills. With apologies to present company, there are many cornerstones of community literature in the room today, but you can hardly blame us for referring to this quote from Lem Sissay. Thanks to our big lottery reaching communities funding, thanks to our Arts Council England funding, and thanks to the support of Rochdale, Bury and Oldham libraries, along with all our other funders and partners, we've helped over 2,000 people open up, build confidence and integrate better in their communities and in the communities around them. The arts make a difference. I'm honoured to have been part of this project.